Would you look at that? Heading into the Stadium Series between Ohio and Michigan, the two teams who are participating from Ohio and Michigan are both in a playoff spot. We'll look at the last few days of game recaps and figure out how they affected the standings and how Detroit and Columbus have gone into the two wildcard spots in the Eastern Conference. With all that coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the End-to-End Hockey channel. Now before we begin this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel. And also don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your guys' opinion on all that was discussed here today. And on top of that, I would also love for you guys to tune in on March 7th for the trade deadline live video. I'll be doing that around 11:30ish for about two and a half hours, so don't forget to stay tuned for that. I'll be breaking down all the trades that happen, plus a couple of other things I think you guys might like too, so don't forget to stay tuned for that. But in today's video, we've got another game recap video. Some interesting things that got the Ohio and Michigan teams into the playoffs. So look at all the game recaps and how they affected the standings from over the past couple of days. So first, we'll look at the two games that happened over on Monday, and then the 12 games that happened over on Tuesday. So first, we saw two games happen over on Monday. We started out with the St. Louis Sharks opening the scoring and very nearly beat the league leading Winnipeg Jets, but the Jets would score an extremely late game tying goal, and then in overtime, thanks to this goal here from Mark Scheifele, he was able to get the overtime winner to give the Jets the extra point to help them keep on their franchise record winning streak, and to have Scheifele become the highest goal scoring player in Winnipeg Jets Atlanta Thrashers history. Very good milestone there for Scheifele, as the Jets have won 10 straight and improved to 41-14-3, while the Sharks have lost 6 straight, 12 of 13, and fall to 15-36-8. A bad stretch here for the San Jose Sharks. For the Jets, Morrissey and Scheifele, who had the OT winner, were the two goal scorers, and Hellebuck stopped 17 of 18 shots he faced in the win for the Jets, while for the Sharks, Eklund was the lone scorer for the Sharks in the OT loss. So it was a bad loss there from San Jose as they fall to Winnipeg. And then the final game over on Monday, we saw the LA Kings become the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Kings scored 4 unanswered third period goals to come from behind and take down the Vegas Golden Knights 5-2. As the Kings have a 6-game point streak and improved to 31-17-7, while the Golden Knights, my Golden Knights, who were just on a 3-game winning streak, had their 3-game winning streak end, and they fall to 34-18-6. So a bad stretch here for Vegas. For the Kings, Byfield had 4 assists, Moore scored twice, Fogle had a goal and an assist, Kempe had 2 assists, and Edmondson and Fiala both also scored for Kings in the win, while the Knights, McNabb and Stone were 2 goal scorers in the loss. So a bad loss there from Vegas as they lose ground in the Pacific Division to the Kings, who have now, after last night's games, leapfrogged the Oilers points percentage-wise, so really good stretch here for Los Angeles. Then we saw Montreal Canadiens open the scoring and shut out the Carolina Hurricanes in the first of 12 games on Tuesday for nothing, as they improved to 27-26-5 and are back in the playoff race. Well, the Canes have lost 5 of 6 and fall to 33-21-4, and they're not too far away from where the playoff mark is right now, so it's bad stretch here for Carolina. For the Canadiens, Suzuki had a goal and 2 assists, and Laine, who had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Hudson and Slavkovsky both also scored. Montembeault stopped all 20 shots he faced in the shutout and win for the Canadiens. So a very impressive win there for Montreal, while the Hurricanes are hurting right now, losing 5 of 6, getting shut out in 2 of those games. So bad stretch there for the Carolina Hurricanes. Then we saw the Philadelphia Flyers prove they are the better Pennsylvania team right now by obliterating the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-1, as they have won 3 straight and improved to 26-26-7, back up to 500 for the Philadelphia Flyers, while the Penguins have lost 4 straight, 8 of 11, fall to 23-28-9, and points percentage-wise are dead last in the East. A bad loss here from Pittsburgh. For the Flyers, Brink had 4.8, goal, 3 assists, Cates, who had 2 goals and 8 assists, and Forster, who had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Michkov had 2 assists, and Ristolainen and Tippett both also scored for the Flyers in the win, with Erston stopping 23 of 24 shots he faced for Philadelphia, while Tomasino was the lone goal scorer for the Penguins in the loss. So the Penguins are still searching for answers, not doing really well right now. Then we saw Columbus Blue Jackets open up an early 2-goal lead and never looked back, as they took down the Dallas Stars 6-4, as they have appointed 3 of 4 and improved to 28-22-8. Were in sole possession of the second wildcard position after Tuesday's game action. Well, the Dallas Stars have a 3-game win and 4-game point streak end, and they fall to 37-19-2 on the year. So, bad game here from Dallas to end a really good stretch over the past couple of games. For the Jackets, Marchenko had a 3-point night, probably the most underrated player in the NHL right now, having 2 goals and 8 assists. Provorov and Fantilli both had a goal and 8 assists. Voronkov had 2 assists, and James Van Riemsdyk and Olivier both also scored for the Jackets in the win, while Robertson had a goal and 8 assists. Granlund had 2 assists. Ben Bork and Hintz also scored for the Stars in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Dallas falls at the hands of the now wildcard team, Columbus Blue Jackets. Then we saw the Calgary Flames open up a 2-goal lead and beat the Washington Capitals 3-1. That's a mighty impressive win there from the Flames, who are now in a wildcard spot, as Calgary has a point in 3 straight and improved to 28, 21, and 8, while the Capitals have their 8-game point streak end and fall to 38, 12, and 8. So lots of 8s in these teams' records. For the Flames, Huberdeau, Coronado, and Pospisil were 3 goal scorers, and Vladar stopped 26 of 27 shots he faced in the win for Calgary, while Ovechkin was the lone goal scorer for the Capitals in the loss, but Ovechkin is now only 12 away from catching Gretzky's record for the all-time goal scoring list. Really great stuff there from Ovechkin. But the Capitals do have their point streak end, and they do fall to the Calgary Flames. Then we saw the Buffalo Sabres fall behind 2-0 to the Anaheim Ducks, but they would score 3 unanswered goals, including this goal here from Henry Jokiharju, or Sportsnet. But Jokiharju was able to give the Sabres a 3-2 lead at one point, and they would hold on to beat the Anaheim Ducks after trailing in this game 3-2, as they've won 6 of 7 and improved to 24, 27, and 5. They're not back in the playoff race, but they've definitely come out of the basement of the East. Well, the Ducks had a chance to gain a little bit in the playoff race, have their 5-game point streak end and fall to 25, 25, and 7, so that's a sour game there from Anaheim. For the Sabres, Cousins had 3 assists, and Tuck, Jokiharju, and Peterka were 3 goal scorers for the Sabres in the win, while McTavish and Carlson were 2 goal scorers for the Ducks in the loss. So it was a bad loss there from Anaheim as they lose some ground in the Pacific Division. Next, we saw Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Boston Bruins, and I'm pretty sure Maple Leafs fans are going to be happy about this one because the Maple Leafs played the Uno reverse card on the Boston Bruins. They were trailing 3-0 early in this game, but stormed back to beat the Boston Bruins 5-4 in overtime. A surprising turn of events there, but the Leafs went in Boston after having a 3-0 deficit. For the Leafs, they have won 3 straight 6-7 and improved to 36, 20, and 2, while the Bruins have lost 4 straight and fall 27, 24, and 8. So a bad stretch here for Boston. That keeps them out of the playoff race. For the Leafs, Riley had a 4-point night with a goal and 3 assists. Marner scored twice, including the OT winner. Robertson had a goal and assist. Oliver Ekman-Larsson had 2 assists, and Holmberg also scored for the Leafs in the win, while Pastrnak had a 3-point night with 2 goals and 8 assists. Marchand had a goal and 8 assists. Lohrei had 2 assists, and Geekie also scored for Bruins in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but the Leafs come away with the overtime victory over Boston. Then we saw New York Rangers score 4 unanswered goals and destroyed their rivals in New York, the New York Islanders, 5-1, as they have won 5 of 7 and improved to 29, 25, and 4, only a couple of points out of a playoff spot now, while the Islanders have lost 4 straight, 5 of 6, are back down to 500 at 25, 25, and 7, and are still a long ways out of a playoff spot right now. For the Rangers, Brodzinski, who had 2 goals and 8 assists, and Vandekainen, who had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Lindgren had 2 assists. Miller and Rempe both also scored, and Shesterkin stopped 36 of 37 shots he faced in the win for the Rangers, while Romanov was the lone goal scorer for the Islanders in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but the Rangers take this one 5-1. Then we saw Tampa Bay Lightning score 4 unanswered goals as well and destroy the Edmonton Oilers 4-1, as they have a 6-game win and 8-game point streak and improved to 33, 20, and 4. The Bolts fans must be ecstatic given how horribly they were playing just a couple of weeks back, while the Oilers have lost 4 straight, 6 of 8, and fall to 34, 20, and 4. Oilers fans must be panicking right now because they're falling out top spot in the Pacific. For the Bolts, Kucherov had 2 assists, and Hagel, Eyssimont, Hedman, and Paul were 4 goal scorers, with Vasilevsky stopping 23 of 24 shots he faced in the win for the Lightning, while Draisaitl was the lone goal scorer for the Oilers in the loss. It was an intriguing game there, but Tampa takes down Edmonton. Then we saw the Detroit Red Wings overcome a 2-goal deficit and storm back as Detroit was down 2-0 to Minnesota, but came from behind and beat them 3-2 thanks to this goal here from Simone Edvinsson. It was the second of the game. Sportsnet, but Edvinsson was able to give the Red Wings the completed comeback back as the Red Wings beat the Minnesota Wild 3-2, as the Wings have a 3-game point streak, a point in 11 of 12, and improved to 30-22-6, while the Wild fall 34-20-4, having their 3-game win streak end. So a bit of a slippery game there from the Wild after a really good stretch. For the Red Wings, Edmondson scored twice, and Tarasenko also scored for Red Wings in the win, while Lauko and Rossi were the 2 goal scorers for the Wild in the loss. So it was a really entertaining, close, tight game, but the Red Wings do come away with the victory in this one, which strengthens their playoff chances. Then we saw St. Louis Blues jump out to a 7-goal lead and destroy the Seattle Kraken 7-2, as it's really hard being a Seattle Kraken fan right now, as the Blues have a 4-game point streak, a point in 6 of 7, and improved to 27-26-6, keeping pace for a playoff spot, while the Kraken have lost 5 of 7 and fall 25-31-4, an embarrassing game there for the Seattle Kraken. For the Blues, Fowler had a goal and 2 assists, and Slinkvist had a goal and 2 assists, both had 3-point nights. Bolduc scored twice. Thomas and Neighbors both had a goal and an assist. Parayko had 2 assists, and Kyrou also scored for the Blues in the win, with Schwartz and Dunn being the 2 goal scorers for the Kraken in the loss. So an embarrassing loss there, and a massive L in the wildcard race for Seattle. Then we saw the Florida Panthers score the first and last 2 goals of the game and took down the Nashville Predators 4-1, as they have won 3 of 4 and improved to 35-21-3, keeping pace with Toronto for the top spot in the Atlantic Division, while the Predators continue to falter, having lost 8 of 10 and fall to 20-30-7. Predators are heading towards one of the first overall picks potentially. For the Panthers, Bennett had a goal and an assist, Barkov had 2 assists, Forsling, Samoskevich, and Sourdough, who scored his first career NHL goal, also scored, and Knight stopped 17 of 18 shots he faced in the win for Florida, while McCarron was a lone goal scorer for Predators in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but it was definitely a really impressive victory there from Florida. Then we saw the Utah Hockey Club in the final game of the night break a tie in the third period thanks to this beautiful backhanded goal here from Lawson Krause. Ronaldo Cascara Sportsnet, but Krause was able to get the go-ahead goal, and Utah beat Chicago 2-1 as they have won 5 of 7, improved to 26-24-9, and continue to keep pace for a playoff spot, while the Blackhawks have lost 4 straight, 7 of 8, and fall to 17-34-7. A bad stretch here from Chicago, keeping them as one of the worst teams in the NHL. For Utah, Keller and Krause were 2 goal scorers, and Vejmelka stopped 21 of 22 shots he faced in the win for Utah. Well, for Chicago, Seth Jones was 1 goal scorer in the loss. So it was an intriguing game there, but Utah gets the big win that they needed. So definitely some interesting games from our past couple of days. Lots of intriguing game recaps from over the past 2 days. Going over to see how these affected the standings as it sits right now. So as it sits right now, 6 teams have reached the 70-point plateau, including 1 team has reached the 80-point plateau, and that's 84-point Washington. Then you have 74-point Toronto, 73-point Florida, and 70-point Tampa, Carolina, and the New Jersey Devils. Those are our top 6 teams, the top 3 teams in each division. Then you have 66-point Detroit, who is currently first wildcard in the East, and 64-point Columbus, who's currently second wildcard in the East. So really good stuff there to see both Detroit and Columbus be in wildcard positions, because it's going to mean that Stadium Series game a lot more important to the playoff race. Ottawa, who is at 62 points, New York Rangers, who are at 62 points, and Boston Bruins, who are at 62 points, are all 2 points back of the Jaguars for the last playoff spot. Senators was a game in hand, Rangers will play the same amount of games, and Bruins will play a game more. The Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers are both at 59 points, which should currently be 5 points back. The New York Islanders are 7 back at 57 points, and the Penguins are really starting to follow the playoff race now with 55 points, 9 out of a playoff spot. That is a really big drop off there for the Penguins. So some separation, but still it's extremely tight. 5 teams within 4 points in that Eastern Conference playoff race is insane. While on the Western side, you still have 5 teams who have hit the 70-point plateau, including the 85-point Jets who have hit the 80-point plateau. Then you have Dallas at 76, you have Vegas at 74, and Minnesota and Edmonton at 72. LA is at 69 points and currently the 3rd team in the Pacific Division. The Colorado Avalanche are currently at 68 points, the first wildcard team, and now the Calgary Flames are at 64 points in the 2nd wildcard slot. So a really good stretch here from Calgary, has them back in a playoff spot. Meanwhile, outside of a playoff spot, things are getting interesting. The Canucks, who were in a playoff spot just a little while ago, have fallen out at 63 points. They're only 1 point point back. Utah's recent surge has them at 61 points, only 3 points back. St. Louis's recent surge has them at 60 points, only 4 points back. Anaheim did have a little bit of a hiccup today, but they're still only at 57 points, which is only 7 back of the Flames. So really interesting, but runs from Utah, St. Louis, and Calgary have made that second wildcard spot in the Western Conference a lot more interesting to see who ends up getting it, but it's still going to be an interesting race. And I think the East is still a lot more closer than the West, so definitely. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of this. What do you think about the game recaps from the past couple of days and how they affected the standings right now? Definitely love to hear your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. That's all I want to talk for today. We're going to like this video. If you really liked it, remember to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. And hopefully leave a comment down in the comment section below so to all that was discussed in today's video. I also do a blog talking about news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that. So definitely check that out. I'll leave a link to that down in the description below. And I can't wait to see you guys all for the next video. See you guys soon.